One topic that has not been logically explained by people believing that we are flying through space is that there is no barrier separating Earth from the vacuum of space. Without that barrier, this is what will be happening to us every day. Hell, we wouldn't even be here. We will not be able to breathe. The vacuum from space will suck everything out of Earth like a vacuum seal. NASA, NASA, help me. NASA, please.
Now let's see if we can test the only explanation globe defenders have. It gets them out of all jams, maybe this one too. Will gravity hold the gas to the Earth? Now, if this was the case, if gravity holds gases to the Earth, then it will be quite easy to test this. Now, I don't have a vacuum pump or a chamber to do this test, but many do. I've seen people with vacuum chambers on YouTube. So let's look at this example. Let's say that we are on a sphere Earth and that gravity is, as Newton said, an attraction between masses. So we are on Earth and gravity is pulling down. In the left side of the chamber, we have gas pressure or air. On the right side, we create a vacuum. Okay, now here's the problem for globe defenders and space religious zealots. If I lower the divider just a tiny bit, just bring it down a hair, what do you think will happen to the gas on the left? Is this what globers believe? That only the gas at the top would fill the vacuum? Or would the gas fill the entire available space? Well, if you believe gravity holds the air pressure down to Earth, even though there is an adjacent vacuum, then you have an untested and an unproven claim because the gas will dissipate and fill the entire void. High pressure to low pressure, always. Now again, we'd still have gas pressure, but because we are in a container, giving the gas something to press upon. To show the impossibility of the consensus scientific belief, we again need to make the vacuum infinite. We again pull down our divider just an inch, and what do you think will happen? Well, of course, the high pressure gas will exit the chamber into the adjacent vacuum and be gone forever. No ifs, ands, or buts. Find someone with a vacuum chamber who can do this test at ground level where gravity is said to be the strongest, and you'll see if gravity will hold the gas to the Earth or if the gas will adhere to the second law and exit the vacuum. Now let me show a diagram that shows what we are taught. There's the Earth, and on it we have gas pressure. But there's no container. It is simply pressing down. But above that is the endless, expanding, empty, extremely low pressure of outer space without any divider and without a container. Well, that's simply insane and impossible. Of course, the gas pressure with no container and no divider will do what the second law of thermodynamics requires. It will go from high pressure to low. It will immediately leave Earth and fill the adjacent void, leaving no gas pressure, no air, nothing.
What is gravity?
You have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference.
See this little pebble, whatever the hell it is, a little rock or salt.
Boy, you so crazy.
My breath is stronger than gravity. My lungs are powerful. Look at it. Gravity sucks.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is worth $5 million for telling you that he does not know what gravity is. However, some of you guys with your science books in your labs typing to me what gravity is need to be talking to Neil. Now with this little clip here, it is showing you how the Earth can flood, how the space ball can flood. Now, in order for water to rise, what does it have to do? I need to ask you a serious question. Do you pour water into a glass, or does a meteorite comes and hits your sink and water ends up in your cup? It's not a trick question. Another one. To pour water into your glass, do you put the cup in the sink empty and shake the hell out of your sink? Or hit it with a hammer, representing the earthquake, for your glass to fill up? No. Therefore, you pour water into your glass from the faucet or bottled water. Pour it into a glass and it rises. It only rises because it is contained. And water that is not contained always seeks its level. Like when you're washing your hands. The drain to the bottom of the sink is not plugged up, so the water is just going to run down. But if you plug up the drain, what will happen, boys and girls? So for water to rise, it has to be inside of a container. Where is the container of the globe Earth? It can't be gravity. Gravity cannot hold all that water down and make it rise. It's not that strong. I just proved that. The little kid proved that with the magnet on top of his hand, picking up paper clips with the palm of his hand. Gravity doesn't exist.
Here's the definition of fiction. Literature in the form of prose, especially short stories and novels, that describes imaginary events and people.
Oh, now surely this is the right spot. Look at this. This area is filled with books about pretend people.
That's right, Grover. This is the fiction section. Fiction means it's a made-up story. Oh, fiction section. Fiction means it's a made-up story. Oh, made-up story.
Man, what's up, good people? We just need those kids to get that, to hear that, see it, and get that. If that episode repeats, we just need kids to look at that and see it and understand it, because that's the truth right there. It's a quick truth. These things you gotta catch. Re-educate yourself, re-educate your kids. Everything is in plain sight. You just gotta know what to look for. You know, it's fiction. It's the definition. And they stack that shelf up with fiction. A rocket and a globe. Alright? What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Have you looked into the firmament yet? Have you studied the firmament? Have you studied why it was created? Hey, what's up, good people? Jay. Hey, I was hanging out on Instagram, you know, and I check out this guy's page, FE Social, and he has quite a few debates with people, you know. Sometimes it's recorded, you know, like phone calls or whatever, or they just do it in the DM. But of course, I put my 7 cents in it, and one guy told me that he can prove that the Earth is a sphere. And this is what I mean. They just yell this stuff out. They yell it out with so much pride. And then he sends this link to me from Flickr, whatever the hell that damn thing is. I can hardly make it out, but what I did make out is that this is supposed to be the Earth, and I guess the writing in the middle just messes it up because he had to write something, but it's supposed to show a whole 360-degree image of a space ball. And this is his name at the bottom, you know. I just replied giggling. Could I giggle at this stuff? I replied giggling with a little smiley emoji. I don't know, man. I don't know how else to put it to you guys. This is what y'all do. This is exactly what y'all do, even on other platforms. I yell out, I got proof, I could kill your whole flat earth world right now. Look at this. Along with the dying globe fantasy, the boat's going over the curve. That is so denounced and old that there is nothing left. You can't even talk about space. You can't. There's nothing left. So you guys come up with, where's your flat earth model? Now, to say where is your flat earth model, you are truly indicating that you have a globe model. Now,
Here's the definition of model. A three-dimensional representation of a person or thing or of a proposed structure, typically on a smaller scale than the original.
so a model indicates what? Is it real? Listen, we don't go out and do observations and experiments. Well, I won't even call it an experiment. We don't go out and do observations on a model. You cannot do an observation on a model. A model is not real. So you are arguing, where's your flat earth model? We don't have a flat earth model. We don't need a flat earth model. So what we are trying to do is get you out the house from playing with your toy balls and models and computers, and go out there and show us in real time this curvature. Stop typing, get up, go outside, find the curvature, measure it, record it, upload it, and tag Flat Earthers in it. Tag me in it. Do me a favor, stop crying, man. What's wrong with you? This was about 7 a.m. this morning from New York, February 22nd, 2020. And when I looked, I saw the sun shining in one of my windows that I wasn't used to. I said, okay, where's the sun at today? Because I like to follow it. So I looked at the sun with the natural eye, and it looked like there was chunks taken out of it. You know, I mean, it was that bright. It was so close. But then I had to go get logic, and I put on the solar lens and zoomed in and realized that it was the trees that was across the street from my house that was making the sun look like it was about to explode. Actually, it was just chunks, just separated from the natural disc shape of it. Yeah, so I just took a few shots, and so I said, okay, if the sky stays clear this evening, I will go out and do a quick time lapse. And so I did. Enjoying the sunset with Logic out here. All is well without the clouds. No clouds now. I see they are trying to put chemtrails up there. Try to block the sun, but it's a bit too late. Did I say sunset? Yeah, I know it's in the Bible, but I like to say the circumnavigation of the brightest luminary. Just recording that time lapse, and all is well. Clear skies tonight. I'll be back out to look at the luminaries spin around. And speaking of that, for the past 4 nights, the Big Dipper has been over my house. I even took a picture of it with cell phone, of course. I was too lazy to get logic because I know it's not going anywhere. But it made me think. It made me really think. Growing up as a child in school, I was taught about the Big Dipper and Little Dipper constellations. So it was amazing to see it when I was a kid. You know, you see it in coloring books, you connect the dots, you had all types of stuff as a child. You know, so it stayed in your mind. Why would they make coloring books for stuff like that? Why would they make cartoons or coloring books for stuff that's not going to be here? We're flying past that. You know what I mean? Nothing dawns on you when you're young. It's only when you get older and you start questioning why. I'm almost about to get my AARP card. And the Big Dipper is still here over my house for the past 3 nights. You don't question that? I do. I smile and go, wow, this is crazy. The Milky Way looks the same as it's going over 60 million miles per hour through space that they cannot provide or prove space. And the Milky Way still looks the same. And the Big Dipper and Little Dipper and the constellations are still here. And if the weather is great, I'm going to record them again tonight. And here we have these luminaries right above my house. And the one that I circled is the one I zoomed in on here. As you can see that structure that it's fixed inside of something. It's not just sitting around in space with darkness behind it. So we truly believe that's the firmament there. And like I mentioned before, you have that image of light shining off of the wall of its surrounding area that's immediately surrounding that light source. And it looks just like this picture, this light on the wall. And here I have a little bit of video of the same luminary. That's the middle luminary that's at the bottom pot shape of the Big Dipper or the Little Dipper, whichever one that is. That's the one that's in the middle on the bottom. Ever see that on the news? Or National Geographic? Nope. You don't. You know why? Because people are going to say, what is that? And you can't lie your way out of that. You're going to have to tell the truth. And when you tell the truth, the whole truth comes out. Hey Google, how far is the Little Dipper from Earth?
425 light years. According to Constellation Guide, its distance is estimated to be between 325 and 425 light years from Earth.
My goodness, where do they come up with these galactic Star Trek numbers from? My cell phone can't look that far. Neither can logic. The whole truth comes out. That's the Dipper. Now I'm about to go back up on the mountaintop and do my time lapse of the luminaries. Circumnavigating around us. We're not moving. So why do people get mad? It must be the top selling phone is the iPhones, and it is your default picture, the blue marble. This is why y'all get mad, because y'all think that that is a real picture. And you have Mr. Blue Marble himself, who created that picture on your iPhone. He created it. Is Mr. Blue Marble God? No, he's a freaking computer artist that created the globe that's on your iPhone. So that's why you can't pull yourself away mentally, physically, or spiritually away from the globe. That's why I get mad. Yep, back up top. You saw earlier in the video the sun going down back there above the top lights. Back up here. Town, highway, all kinds of stuff. Alright. My little town, if you blink while you're driving through, you miss it. Alright, let's get to these heavenly luminaries, as in the Book of Enoch. We know that we should not be seeing the same stars, the same constellations all these years. So we all know we're not spinning. Stay flat.